You're listening to Goons, Games, and Gear, the sexiest gaming podcast in the world.
Oh, it feels so good to be back. That's right. We're here. It's Goons, Games, and Gear. I'm your host, the head goon, also known as Pretty Derek, also known as just Derek. To my left, right? Technically to my right. To my right is the retro Rob, the man, the dead Dondus. You know, you love him and his yelling at us because he's our babysitter most times. There's George. George, the sad boy, edgy two swords. He's full of edge. And the only man currently who has a beard larger than I, and also infinitely better groomed. And then we have G-Phone, totally not the co-host of Goons, Games, and Gear. Also totally not, also named Derek. Also totally, his favorite color totally isn't purple.
True. All true. You know,
everything he said, everything was true.
Yeah, everything was true. It's gonna be gone.
So glad to be back. That Goons, Games, and Gear is live, and we couldn't do this without you. So appreciate everyone who's here. We're talking about some fun stuff today. Switch 2 news, actually, not rumors, not speculation, real concrete news.
Nintendo confirmed. Reggie came back. He was like, guys, I'm here. Switch 2's coming. They also said
Switch 2's coming. Mother
not
3
to get
still
too far
never
into
happened.
it. It is a Switch 2. It's pretty exciting. Everybody was right. You guys, victory.
Dude, I'm just happy to finally get something tangible. I know. You know, us Nintendo fans were like, please, sir. Please. It's been
Mr. Bowser, when will we have more?
More? It's been 9 years. Yeah, but you love your Switch. I mean, I do, but it runs like mud. Come on, man.
They have 4K now, Mr. Bowser. 4K.
Okay, Mr. Bowser. We're talking about Microsoft closing down studios and just. This is not Microsoft's year. It's probably going to have Microsoft's worst year ever, or Xbox division. George brought us to our attention that Square Enix is, I can't believe this, announces it tanked 140 million in losses due to content abandonment. Still no Goons, Games, and Gear DLC, which I'm sad about. You know, we were hoping for that in Final Fantasy, right?
You take those L's because of these decisions you make, and honestly, yeah.
We got some Starfield news because Starfield's back and people are actually respecting it. And this new update actually sounds pretty sweet. Plus the Shattered Space DLC. And that's what we got for you guys today. So remember to hit that old like button. Watch us everywhere the podcasts are. Spotify, Apple, literally everywhere. I can't even name them all. Become a member on YouTube.
At those places too.
Yeah, that would be super
we don't say that enough. Like, right. Leave us a rating,
please.
At Apple Podcasts
and Spotify.
Spotify, right. Yeah.
Videos always on Spotify, not Apple, because why would they be? But let's get into it, shall we? Shall we, my friends? Can we get into it? Okay,
let's jump into it, gamers.
Let's jump into gamers. Switch 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's finally happening by 2025. Or they're going to announce it officially in its official capacity. What do you think? Are you excited for this?
Yeah. So, like I alluded to too, they apparently they followed it up and specified in an earnings call or something today that it is not another system. It is an upgrade. Is the best way to put it. So
that's fine.
That gives me super high hopes that my Switch games will work on it.
Well, I thought they confirmed. Actually, no, they didn't confirm it. I saw somewhere that behind the scenes, it's absolutely going to be backwards compatible.
Oh, thank God!
100%. I was going to open that, but it's not going to work. So that's really the most we can ask for. Although then this other one said that it can possibly run up to 4K 30, which at that point just stop. Don't. I don't. You know what? 2K is fine. Honestly, or. What about a Switch version that doesn't just make the game look like mud? That'd be pretty cool.
That would be, just some nice hardware finally.
Right. I just
get ahead of the game, Nintendo. Come
on. George, you have my old Switch. Would you get a Switch too? Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, honestly, probably.
Mind you, he stole my Switch. He went to my house. He broke in. He stole.
Right. He beat him up. I saw the black eye. I have the pictures.
You saw the what guy?
Your black eye.
Oh. I took okay. I heard something different. Okay. I was that. Okay, that actually got me. Sorry about that. Anyway,
Oh gosh.
I want to I really do want to switch. I just want this is all we ask for, right? Upgrade, switch, plays our old games. I'm hoping that let's do an everybody is here trailer again, but it's just all these games that are just updated. You know, everyone's here. It's like
if they do like an announcement direct or whatever for this system, and then like Sakurai just walks out. Can you imagine I feel like joy will be felt around the world for the first time in a long time.
I mean, I would feel joy. I've wanted this. I've wanted this 5 years ago. We got the only upgrade we got was through OLED, right? And even then, it was like
better battery. Look, don't get me wrong, better battery. Woo.
The screen on that is infinitely better. So much, it's like just a lot brighter and it just makes a lot more sense. But you know, there was no graphical upgrades, and that made me sad. Like at least, I want to play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in 60 frames. But let's get on that. Come on, let's
yeah.
Also, better online. Some YouTuber made the defense that the UI for the Switch is so bad because they wanted to keep it as simple as possible because it's like you want it to be simple and portable. But I don't agree with that because it runs so poorly. like the dashboard and the online ecosystem when you're in portable.
Right.
It just makes me sad.
Can I have a console that I don't have to change the battery out on after a year and not have to deal with a crappy repair program for joysticks that break down after about a year or so?
Did you fix them at your job?
I fixed them at my job and I fixed my own.
That's wow. Huh.
Yeah, I had Joy-Con drift and I had my battery going out and I did both of them and batteries suck. I don't like them. You wouldn't think about it, but they adhere the batteries in there so like Rhino Tough adhesive, basically, to the actual device that you run a risk of damaging your screen if you don't do it right. I feel like.
What could damage your screen?
Yanking on the battery to try and pry it off of there. Okay. I can heat the sucker, but...
Well, what if I wanted to replace the RAM? Could I download it instead?
Oh, of course. Coolram.com.
And me and Dad were doing we were doing a but should you buy for the NES Championship Edition before this? Spoilers, it's like a steal. And I bring that up because I hope for the Switch 2, please give us better online emulation. It is so terrible. It's so terrible on the Switch. Yeah. It's like it's abysmal.
Too much of their money's going to their paramilitary death squadrons that are hunting down people trying to emulate their games. I mean,
no, really though. I'm afraid to even mod. I would think about before George stole mine to have that Switch be modded and do fun stuff with it. But I was just deathly afraid of them finding out and threatening my family.
They'll do it.
They don't mess around. Absolutely, they'll do it.
It's a real threat.
Oh god! Ow! Sorry, I had to hit something. Anyway. Ow, I stabbed myself with my Ring Dragon of Raw thing. Am I bleeding?
They'll sue you, even if you look at them funny.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what? They recently took down all the emulate. Oh, what? Yuzu, right? Was that it, Rob?
They went after Dolphin, then took down Yuzu.
Well, I think, isn't Dolphin still around, but just can't be on Steam, right? They're like...
They just can't be on Steam. It's still around.
Yeah. Well... The only sad part about this is that they said that it's going to be the announcement is going to be by April 2025. So that doesn't mean we're getting it by April 25. It's just going to be announced by April 2025. And
I assume we'll get it, holiday that year.
Yeah, the announcement should hopefully address some of the concerns and the wants of the people, us included, of theoretically, hey, it's coming. Here's some of what it will be able to do. Did you want to play in 4K? Here you go. Did you want 60 frames?
No.
No, but we'll give you 45 frames a second.
Seriously, I I used to say no. This next Switch has to be 4K.
Playtesters. Do you want 60 frames per second? No. Do you want a console that actually works? No.
Well, I got the console for you. Sold. You know, it's just yeah. I used to be diehard on the whole. Hey, we need like the next Switch needs to be 4K. I'm backpedaling that so hard. I just want like it doesn't have to be 2K. Just give me like it looks great on 1080p and runs at 60. That's all for every game. Honestly, I'm totally fine with that. I don't need like a 2K device. I don't, you know, I just want a Switch that runs right when it's in my hands. I don't want frame drops, and I want 2D Pokemon back. That's right, Pokemon petition. Okay, well, zero hype from you guys. Okay,
you don't want another adventure after this next one.
I like Scarlet and Violet a lot, but I had so much more fun with Sword and Shield purely because of Dynamax Adventures.
Just give me Dynamax Adventures over and over again.
I really enjoyed.
Man, you guys really vibed with that, huh?
Oh, yeah. It was a shiny hunter's paradise.
It was fun.
It was fun.
So there's this game, and I'm not going to name it because in fear of Nintendo tracing it, right? And everybody that here knows what game we're talking about. And that game literally just shows like what simplicity Nintendo with Pokemon Company could do to give us just like a fun game that everybody loves. Like, I don't need this big journey venture or whatever. Like, I just want this like this. What like what we
adventure with unskippable hand holding tutorials at the beginning.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's definitely I've been having more fun with this Pokemon game that we've been playing, but more than honestly Scarlet and Violet. I've just been having a blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
It's like bad.
Scarlet and Violet had like the easiest shiny hunting available in terms of like acquiring
with the sandwiches and stuff.
But they shiny lock like every legendary, which sucks, and Dynamax Adventure. It's like I'm just scared that they're gonna lock that down or like shut off the servers. So I kind of need it to get big enough so we can justify going back for the servers. So everyone, that's right. Please like, comment, subscribe, grow us so we can get those Dynamax Adventures back, because I would love to get my disgusting shiny Groudon. Derek, every shiny that Derek gets is legendary. It's like 5 or less tries. For Kyurem, for me, took 247.
I think Groudon were in like almost 300, right? For Groudon.
I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about how mane tries I put into Kyogre by myself. You know how hard it is to go against a giant Kyogre that puts rain down and uses his water attack and just nukes everything, and you play with bots and other stupid people? It's just, that really was my white whale, only it's pink. Like, it's Kyogre is my pink whale. But like, I hate playing with Derek because he gets everything in 5 tries. Like, we played like 1 round, Derek gets a shiny Flygon. Like, his favorite Pokemon.
I'm just like, oh, what's this? I log on, I'm just like, hey, I got a shiny.
And then
the craziest one was before we even went live, I had an egg for it was a Lotad egg that like I don't even remember why I had it. I wasn't going for the shiny for Lotad. I just had a Lotad egg for some reason.
It was on accident. It was like in the daycare, and you were swapping it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it literally hatched a shiny, like 1 egg luck, for no reason too. It just like, oh my god.
So Derek has built-in shiny odds. It's
yeah, I don't know why.
It's crazy.
He punishes me in other things, but wishes me well in others.
Yeah, maybe the next Pokemon game it won't run like trash. But honestly, I don't know if that's. I still don't know. Does anyone know if it's because of Nintendo or because of Pokemon Company? Or both?
I think they blamed it on the system. I think that was the common consensus, but I don't trust Pokemon Company, so
I hope that we I saw like a mock-up for it. I would love like a DS style Switch that has the 2 screens. I love that.
Dude, I would love that.
I
love
to
fully portable.
That would make Mario Maker really fun again.
Yeah, Mario Maker Smash again, fully portable like the 3DS.
I mean, it is poorly portable playing on the Switch, just to be.
But like fully portable. You know?
I saw there was like a very credible leak that, or with insiders, that the Joy-Cons are going to be magnetic instead of rails.
Oh, you were telling me about that, yeah.
Right. Rob, what would be the problem if it was magnetic? Actually, would you prefer magnetic controllers?
I guess I wouldn't really have a frame of reference. Like, what do you mean magnetic controller?
So, like, with the turn switch Joy-Cons, you slide them in and they're attached by a rail system. This one, it'd be magnetic, so it just, like, clicks in because of magnets. My fear is that if you put any pressure up or down, it'll just, it'll just pop off.
Yeah, that's just asking for trouble. Can we do mechanical? Keep it mechanical? I'm okay with mechanical.
I don't know. I'd have to see it to believe it or see how well it works.
My only concern with like magnetic too is like, so like with the comfort grip, I feel like the Joy-Cons is like the perfect size for like adult hands.
Right.
If it was just like the Joy-Cons magnetic though together, I feel like it's like too scrunched. Like you'd be playing like this.
Yeah.
With, like the palm of your hand touching.
Right.
Yeah, and even with like the wrist strap attachments or whatever that they have currently for the Joy-Cons, even that, like when we were playing the games in the last time Rob was around and we were all playing, my hand cramped up so bad from like like the comfort grip is, I think, like Derek said, a really good blend of where it needs to be for like adult hands.
Yeah. No, the base Switch or Joy-Cons are actually uncomfortable if you're holding the Switch for more than like 10 minutes. They need to groove out they have to make like the right grooves and stuff like that. I was just reading something here about apparently some Spanish company who report accurately about minor details in Switch OLED are saying that a larger Switch 2 will replace those rails with magnets.
So we can only hope that if they actually do go magnet, that they keep the comfort grip as is, and that they don't magnet together, and that they have something in the middle to allow for more spacing. Circling back real quick, I was looking up, and it looks like for Scarlet and Violet, it's just badly optimized. So like there's a
pretty badly optimized considering there was a memory leak problem when it launched.
Yeah, but they went on further to explain that there were improper backface culling and loading and deloading entities constantly. So like the programmers just, for example, one of the other things is that the water around Paldea is always loaded in. So the water, even if you're not near it, the water is always loaded, and that's partially why no matter where you go.
That's super interesting. Huh.
Yeah. And the reason behind it is that because they wanted that co-op experience and to have like the players go wherever they wanted, they had to keep like, I guess, water assets constantly loaded in order to enable people to kind of go off, explore on their own and do their own things at the same time as like playing together or whatever. I don't know how factual that is, but that seems to be a lot of the top comments, that there's a lot of assets and graphics that are always rendered in, while meanwhile all of the entities of like you leave the space for a little bit, so all the Pokemon have to deload and then you go back and then they reload in and stuff like that. It's just too much for the Switch itself to handle, and then it's just too much on the back end where the programming just wasn't fleshed out.
So almost like a $1 billion entity couldn't optimize a game. But to their credit, or to their defense, optimizing for the Switch at this late in the game is kind of
right.
And for a game that tried to have as many 3D Pokemon
idea.
I mean, I think to some degree their hand was forced. They're like, you have to get this out. We don't care if it's just if it's optimized or not. Like, it has to be playable. Because at that point it was barely playable, and yeah, it got kind of like updated, but they need to fix that.
Scarlet and Violet, I remember I was getting hyped for it. It looked cool. I bought it. I put maybe about 2.5 hours, 4 hours tops into it, and I've never gone back to it. It was not the Pokemon for me. I did not enjoy it at all.
I think the problem too was like, so like Pokemon Company is Nintendo, right? But like they are a separate entity. So I think like Nintendo like made Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and like those had like muddy parts to them. but then Pokemon Company was like, oh, we could do that, but they had no idea. It was like the first time Pokemon Company ever did anything like that, which like it isn't an excuse, but like it makes it a little more understandable, I feel like. Granted too, that game, like if you just run around that base world, there's really no load zones. So like the whole game is like, I think we talked about it like a long time ago about how the loading in that game works and everything. But like the whole game is loaded for the most part, and it's always constantly loading like those instances of Pokemon and stuff.
Right.
So from a technical standpoint, I understand it. From a 25-year-old company standpoint, I don't understand it.
Right, but what I would argue against that is what they could have done was, hey, our game isn't really optimized that well. What if we added sector load zones? You know?
Right. Or just ask Nintendo, like, hey, can you send some guy to come help us, please?
Please.
Like, please, we're drowning.
Well, it's just like the city itself was a load zone going in and out of it. And like, yeah, some of the houses. But realistically,
going to, like, Area Zero and stuff.
I think it was just too big a scope for the Switch. And they needed to have load zones so that way the water doesn't have to always be loaded, you know? And like, it's really not the end of the world if my friend is playing on the other side of the map. Really, if we're going to play co-op, I'd assume we're going to be kind of together. Love will keep us together. That's what my dad always
You would think, but you know, maybe some people just want to dive bomb different areas of the map and meet in the middle and see who caught what.
It also took only 2 DLCs to be able to fully fly at all times, by the way. I just want to keep that in mind. So like I still blame both. I think Nintendo has the resources to say, hey, we can give you as much manpower as you need. And like, even if they like, but every Pokemon game is going to turn a profit. I think I just saw Pokemon. They just released the numbers that Violet and Scarlet has sold 21 million so far.
Yeah. Pokemon. I think they released the Switch number today too. It's something ridiculous. It's like 140 million for Switch, the system.
Oh, really? Let's see. Red and Blue / Green are at 31 million. This is December 2023. Sword and Shield 26 million. Scarlet Violet 24 million. Gold, Silver 23 million.
That's still pretty good considering how much everybody like poopied on.
I can't believe Violet. Legend Arceus is at 14, which I would argue is a better game at this point.
Absolutely.
So they have load zones.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like too, Arceus, like, it didn't capture as many fans of like the traditional Pokemon game, right? Like a lot of people didn't want to have to craft or do any of that stuff. They wanted just a traditional Pokemon, and they got Legends Arceus, which again is a lot of fun. Arguably better than Scarlet and Violet. I enjoyed playing it way more, but you know, you look at the rest of the ones that are above it. Even Let's Go beat out Legends Arceus, and the only ones that didn't are Diamond and Pearl, Yellow because why? Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Like, I don't know. I don't disagree that the ones that are below Arceus should not be below Arceus. I 100% agree with that, but I don't think Let's Go. But I guess that was for more of the kids, right? And like Arceus is not necessarily kid oriented. Like,
what? Have you seen?
I don't think it is,
dude.
Just with the amount of reading that you have to do in Arceus versus like.
Boo hoo! I'm 3D Squelch.
Learn to read.
Learn to read.
It is so ironic that you're telling people to learn to read when you guys won't do that either.
I choose not to. That's a difference.
No, you're exempt from this, George. I know that you read. I'm talking about these two.
Rob, who hurt you today?
Nobody hurt me, but I just think it's really ironic that you would say that, knowing full well that you guys do not read what's presented to you on a screen.
Cite your sources. Anyway, back to just the Switch 2. Again,
last week.
I really hope that like the Switch 2 during the announcement they optimize a bunch of games. Like Scarlet and Violet gets an update to make it run better.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, these next gen updates these games should get,
right.
And
they again I've theorized the idea that everyone is here. Da-na-na-na, and it's like, Scarlet Violet, 60 frames, doesn't run like crap anymore. Ba-na-na-na. Smash
Everything
it.
specs.
And then
We
just,
did it.
and just like Smash Ultimate stays the same. Da-na-na-na. Like,
Better
No,
netcode.
you were so close, Nintendo.
or like better online. It's like, okay, we take
Yeah.
that. Ba-ba-da-da.
Better netcode would definitely help out a lot for the next version of the Switch.
Let's see here. What's another Switch game that just like pisses me off? Oh, Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess. I wish.
Mario
Dude,
Maker 3 is a
dude,
launch title.
Oh
Here's
my
the-
god,
That's what I want.
dude.
We're bringing back the classic eShop. We're doing it.
Virtual console.
Download your retro games. Na, 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 na.
And that's when Nintendo became a $1 trillion company, when they finally brought
Nintendo
back
took
Virtual
over the world. Jeff Bezos cried.
The end. That's a beautiful story, guys.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, Switch 2. I do feel like this is gonna be way too long of a wait though. Still, by just announcing by 20, really, so like you said, holiday 2025. So we got basically 2 years more, like, or a year and a half, right?
Right.
Which kind of sucks. But
I'm really curious what they're announcing in June at the Direct. Like
Oh,
what?
dude,
Like now that they've announced this, right? Everybody's in that mindset now of like, I gotta buy a new system next year.
Derek,
But they could announce a banger game at the end of this year, right? That like literally Mario Suckers 2 literally blows people away. Like
Derek, I already have the list.
Hunger.
I already have the list. It was already leaked. First, it's gonna be Fallout 4. Then it's Starfield. Then it's Starfield. Okay.
You're right.
Then Elder Scrolls Online. They never saw it coming. Oddly, God of War Ragnarok. No one sees it coming, but
What?
I know. It's
Dude.
crazy.
Nuts.
Puyo Puyo Universe, a new game. Let's see here.
Puyo Universe.
Switch 2 exclusive Puyo Puyo Universe. Dead Rising 5 exclusive to the Switch.
They bought the company from Microsoft.
Tetris 99 is making a comeback.
Tetris 100.
Shower with Your Dad Simulator 2025. I'm Your Daddy Edition.
Oh my.
Let's see. There was Tenkaichi Sparking Zero. That's coming to the Switch.
Switch exclusive. They announced. Oh my.
And then they're gonna top it all off with Halo Infinite. No one's gonna see it coming. And it's like, right.
Damn. You know what, Nintendo? I don't know why I ever doubt you, really.
So yeah, that's still gonna be a Switch 2 lineup. But now that we're all talking about the Switch 2, I would argue, or not even argue, I would say I think the next Mario game is going to be a launch title. Since they learned that Breath of the Wild as a launch title was like unbelievably great, they're going to have just one slamming game. And I'm going to think with
well, we just got Mario Wonder, right? So
Yeah,
it'd
that's
be
3D.
a 3D Mario game.
Yeah. So
Or it's something huge.
I
Maybe
just
the
wa-
new Pokemon.
1 second, I just want to clarify. Awesome YouTuber watcher 2x4 donated
two.
$5. Top
two,
Pokemon
bye.
Smash. I'm trying to understand. Are you saying what Pokemon would be Smash, or are you trying to say what Pokemon should be in Smash? Two very
Yeah, you
distinct
mean like
but different.
Gardevoir? Because like Gardevoir.
Low
but,
Honey,
like, or you mean like
Stunfisk,
like actual Lucario, like in Smash, like
Stunfisk.
Like you gotta use your words. Give us a little
I
bit
know
more
a little
context.
bit description.
Malamar. That's on my list.
Oh yeah,
Octillery.
Smoochum.
Oh God, what Pokemon would you smash? Okay, well, I mean, I think we're legally obligated to answer this.
Well, Gardevoir is there.
Malamar
so-
being a contrarian work. Would it just like kind of like you go and then it just
You
like
have
pull
to
it
be
back into your
upside
body?
down.
You
Yeah, you have to be upside down.
No, to make the Inkay evolve, you're 69ing, so it's upside down. So then,
About to blast it, it starts to glow.
you evolved from being in a 69 position. Oh my God! Wait, it's inking on me. No. Anyway, so I mean, I could just say low putty. That'd be pretty easy, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Actually, I think I'm gonna go with
George
Steelix. I think Steelix would be like a good cuddle.
He's a gentle lover.
Yeah, Steelix is a confirmed gentle lover. He's always the big spoon, but when he wraps around you, it's just right. Thanks, Steelix. Rob, what's your Pokemon Smash? You have to do this. He donated $5. Okay, well,
Side note, while Rob's thinking, I watched the Hero Gasm episode of The Boys last night because I've been watching that.
I haven't seen the new season.
Season 3.
Oh, okay. Oh,
it was the one with like the B-list heroes.
Yeah.
And like my partner was like, "You're gonna love this episode." I was dying the whole time. It was so funny. That reminded me of it.
All right, Rob. Now you have to say it.
Beedrill.
Damn.
Interesting. Mega Beedrill or base?
Yeah. How many spikes do you want?
Either. Rob's really into pinch play. You know.
Ow, that stinks.
George, what's yours? What did you say yours was? Was it Del Kitty?
What?
Del Kitty?
Is that what you said?
Isn't that the evolved form of Skitty?
Del Catty?
Del
Yeah,
Catty.
Del Catty, maybe?
Del Catty.
I didn't say anything yet, but
Well, I was hoping.
Garbage streamer showing his complete and total lack of ability to remember names.
Robble Bobble would go with Ditto, the OG choice. You mean the slut Pokemon? That's too easy.
Ditto kind of works.
Hey, it works, but you can't pick it now that he said it. George, you say one. Are you looking up a list of Pokemon or something?
Yeah, but just
Like what's? Who's your favorite? Hold on. Totally separate question. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Scyther.
Okay, it's Scyther. Congratulations. Yeah, there you go. It's Scyther. Congratulations, yours is now Scyther. So you are smashing Scyther, and that's just how it's gonna be.
I mean, I could go with Lopunny as well, because I mean, let's face it. Or you can always cheap out and say Vaporeon.
Second choice, Mr. Rhyme. Hello,
Mr. Rhyme.
Mine's Heatmore. That whole like anteater firefly.
Oh my god, yeah, we didn't even think of like licky tongue. Damn.
No, but Heatmore's the total power top. That's the issue. He's,
Keep an eye out too for a tier list of breedable Pokemon.
Why? Just go back and listen to previous Goons Games and Gear episodes.
Did we do a
we
whole
have
episode
touched on this topic so many times.
I know, we really do.
Should we just have
those guys?
Should we just have a podcast on bangable Pokemon?
I honestly,
Goons bang Pokemon GVP.
New tier list.
Oh yeah, God, those are fun. We did them. Anyway, that question and ridiculous answers and awkward answers were brought to you by 2x4 who donated $5. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Okay, so on to other news. Here we go. Microsoft. Okay. 2024 is gonna be the worst year ever. I'm calling it. Microsoft closes Redfall developer Arcane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks, and more in devastating cuts at Bethesda. It's like, first of all, no one saw this coming. Even the studios were literally blindsided. They're like, "What? Excuse me?" Like, so for example, and I've never heard of this happen before. And Derek, you might know, you might have. I don't know if this ever happened because they shut down the studio. They're setting up like a credit website for anyone who bought the Redfall Bite Back edition, so that way they don't have to like finish the DLC. I thought they were legally obligated to. I didn't know they could like. Just say, hey, never mind.
I guess because the actual studio is shutting down, there might be like a failsafe of like, hey, we're just going to refund everybody because nobody's here anymore to support this game. So
right. It's just like it's just crazy. And apparently the reason they want to focus on like what was it? It wasn't high priority. High impact games. Which my like tin hat theory is that they saw how insane Fallout did, show-wise, saw how everyone wants a new Fallout game. They said, hey, we need to get Fallout out sooner. So what if we just kill these companies that are providing lower games and use that money / like managing resource and put it into, you know, the next Skyrim, the next Fallout. That's like, that's where I'm going with that. Discuss.
Yeah, but at the same time, right, like, that's not really going to make it so that the game comes out faster. It just means that they're going to dump more resources into it.
Yeah, but resources mean manpower. Manpower means faster, theoretically. Like, if they say, oh, we're going to have the game back by 2030, but then they hire 100 more people to put on this project, then I would imagine it's going to come out sooner. In fact, I would put money down that it's going to come down sooner because this is happening. They're like, okay, now that you don't have to worry about these managing these studios, just like, what do you need to make Fallout 5? You know, like, what do you need to make this work?
And this was definitely like a Microsoft decision, not a Bethesda decision. Like, they're like, we need these games now. Because, and like, it is very sad that they are shutting all these studios down. But Tango Games in particular literally releases nothing but banger games. Like, Evil Within, Hi-Fi Rush was literally like one of the top games last year. Like, I just, like, it makes no sense. Like, Arcane Austin, okay, like, Redfall was like definitely a severe flop, and they knew that going out. Like, before they released the game, they were like, this game's gonna flop. Like, there was no marketing for it. The game just kind of came out, and that was it. Nobody played it. Everything was terrible. But like, I don't know. This is literally Xbox being like, hey, Bethesda, shut up, make Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and that's all you're doing from now on. No more of this, like, side nonsense, which really has me concerned for games like Prey. Like,
oh, never gonna happen.
id Software will survive on Doom, but like, they're not doing anything else. I have a feeling the micromanaging for Bethesda is like so high right now from Microsoft, like micromanaging them, that like Phil Spencer goes in there with like a whip and is like, he's like, how's Elder Scrolls 6? What year are we looking at? And they're like 2028, and he's like,
no, 2026.
He's like, let's make that 2026.
I'm actually,
it's sad. It's scary. Like, I really don't think you'll ever see another Dishonored game, and that's sad.
It's very
like,
sad.
Arcane makes Dishonored. Like, I don't think you're gonna see that again. Evil Within never coming out again is like really sad, because who is it, George? The original writer of Resident Evil worked on those games.
Yeah, Shinji Mikami.
Yeah. Like, that was his passion project, and honestly, Evil Within series was kind of better than like the last 3 or 4 Resident Evil games we've gotten. Sorry, Capcom. But like, it is like, it baffles me. It is a scary time for Bethesda right now, and like Fallout fans and Elder Scrolls fans rejoice because you're getting your paydays for these things, but like, all these other side projects that these Bethesda studios make and that are like really good games, I don't know. It's a scary future for them. That's it. That's my TED Talk.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful, man.
Like, wow. the hero.
Here's another question, though, right? Because Arcane itself, the studio, is not fully being shut down. Just the Austin studio is being shut down.
No, yeah.
Well,
no,
but
Arcane's still there.
Yeah, but Derek's point was that it's now we're worried that these games aren't going to happen because they're just going to,
Yeah. And it's only a matter of time then, right? Because like, if they're shutting down like Austin and whatever, like, yeah, they say that the Leon one will continue to focus, but for how long? Until they go, Bethesda needs more money. Hurry up, here you go. This is on top of every other layoff and like closing that we've had. 2024 absolutely sucks for gaming so far.
Oh yeah.
What sucks for gaming? Next Championship Edition comes out next month.
Paper Mario this month.
Paper Mario.
Luigi's Mansion 2 in July.
You're right. 2024 is great for Nintendo because every other gaming company is screwing it up.
Nintendo has won this year.
Absolutely.
Actually, it's going to be hard because from like Elden Ring DLC comes out in June, and like that's going to be a banger. So.
So I was actually hoping to play Redfall when it was more updated, and I just thought it'd be a fun, dumb experience for all 4 of us, like, because it's 4-player co-op.
Right.
They were working on an offline mode, and apparently, again, it just all got cut short.
Yep.
And mind you, this goes back on what Phil Spencer said like months ago. He's like, hey, we know it wasn't well received, but hey, we're gonna work on this and make it, what we believe will be a great experience. Like okay, as he flushes the toilet on our dreams. Granted, I don't think maybe they saw like behind the scenes server wide, like literally no one is playing this. There's no like putting our resources here actually doesn't make any sense. This is actually hold on a second. Yeah, so 2x4 from the comments who donated earlier, which I really appreciate. He was just talking about how Fallout 2 is getting a full remake in Fallout 4's engine. I just want to make sure this isn't
I'm pretty sure that was a fan project.
Oh, is it a fan pro? Oh, okay. I was thinking it's official. Oh, my bad. But that'd be really cool though. Sorry. I only if it was official, then it falls under Bethesda, and I thought it'd be interesting. Which I was totally down for a remaster for 1 and 2. I don't know why they don't port it to console, but whatever.
Apparently 2's amazing. Like I've never played 1 or 2, but
Rob,
apparently 2 is like. You played them, Rob? Rob gave the seal of approval
for the audio listeners.
Yeah,
I kind of zoned out for a second there, but no, it's if you go into Fallout 1 and 2, and by extension Tactics, we don't talk about Brotherhood of Steel, but if you go into those 3 expecting what you've already gotten with 3, 4, and New Vegas, you're not gonna have a good time. You need to expect that it's going to be a more, let's say. Seeing as I don't know what people say about an isometric top-down RPG, expect it to be more tabletop-like.
Yeah, that's what I saw, but that's what makes it look interesting. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah, the mechanics are apparently really cool.
Don't let the temple intimidate you. It's just a couple of doors. Just figure it out. Click around. Look up an instruction manual. It's what we had to do back in the day. Read.
Yeah,
learn to read.
Two people in this call of ours don't know how to. So I'm
Rob, why would you out yourself like that? That's crazy.
Why would you out yourself like that? You know what I meant. You know who you are. Because it's not me and it's not George.
Oh my God, Derek.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
fifth guy who doesn't have his camera on right now.
The guy controlling the camera, which is me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's my hamster, dude. You don't know how to read. Get out of here.
You realize that I'm about a little under 2 months away from being able to slug you in the chest.
That's why I'm working out. Anyway,
I'm building. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll be ready for you.
Let's see. So Matt Booty, the head of Xbox Game Studios, and I had to laugh. I think it's a funny last name.
That's a good name.
Yeah, good name. He I'm not gonna read this entire thing, but he does say to double down on these franchises and invest to build new ones requires to look across the business to identify the opportunities that are best positioned for success. This reprioritization of titles and resources means a few teams will be realigned, others, however, our colleagues will be leaving us. It's like, yeah, but wasn't what was the game, Derek?
Hold on, I'm looking up Tango Games' games because I know. I'm like listening to his blasphemy as this guy spits it out. But Evil Within was a success, both of them. Hi-Fi Rush was like a critical success. Ghostwire Tokyo, okay, I like not for everybody. I'll give you that one. You could have that one. I mean that's pretty much been it for Tango Games, but like they were a part of ZeniMax for like ever before they branched off. So like they've been with Bethesda forever.
By the way, because of Alpha Dog Studios, Mighty Doom, that mobile game is turning off. So any microtransactions to that. What?
I didn't like that game, Rob. I don't think you liked it either, right? You tried it out.
Which one?
The Mighty Doom mobile game. It was like the Chibi Doom game.
Oh yeah, the one that had some predatory microtransactions.
Yeah. But apparently, like, people did like it, and like people were playing it and like obviously buying into like the microtransactions and stuff. But like, it's terrible that like that community is now dead.
I played it a bunch when it came out.
Really?
Right. It was like stupid fun.
Yeah, like those are the types of mobile games that I do enjoy playing. Are like the ones like that. I played a couple other ones similar to that, like Snaker and whatnot. Like, I don't know. Those are just the mobile games, aside from the stupid idle ones that just absorb my time because I could just sit there and go.
I genuinely don't understand idle games. I don't understand the appeal. But See, there's also this part. Now I read this further. I actually don't understand it because he then says with this consolidation of our Bethesda studio teams, so that we can invest more deeply in our portfolio of games and new IP. It's well never, but like
yeah, okay, new IP. New IP. What?
Well, yeah, it's like wasn't
Hi-Fi Rush was a brand new IP. Right. Was this? That's what. Screw you guys. Just say it. Just say you want Elder Scrolls and Fallout more often. So you're just gonna double down on that garbage. Like, come on.
Garbage.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Look, let's be real for a second. 76 is a turnaround. They completely 180 that.
Oh, they
game.
fixed it. Yeah.
Tell them, Rob.
I mean, they definitely brought it around, that's for sure. But you know, I feel like maybe if you would focus more on the people making your game, and maybe not allowing crunch conditions to happen, and then doing layoffs when higher up corporate executives lose touch with reality, that'd be pretty cool. I like a quality game. I'd like a game that's not on the same friggin' engine that it's been on for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, probably not 20, but you know
maybe.
What I mean.
Morrowind. It's been at least since Morrowind, and that was the original Xbox. So
when did Morrowind come out?
Fact check.
Derek, the fact checker. Yeah, like I just now it just annoys me.
2002. Yeah, 22 years.
Oh yeah, 20 years then.
Couldn't these studios just work on a new IP? Couldn't you just then said, "Hey,
they did that with Starfield, and we got rehashed Fallout 4."
But that was the point of these like small studios, right? Like, so it used to be just Bethesda, and then Bethesda made Arcane, id, Tango Games to make these smaller games while they focused on Fallout and Elder Scrolls. So like, what's the like deal? Like, I don't get it.
Oh, I get it. I get it. All right, they just want to put money into Skyrim and Skyrim 2, Electric Boogaloo, and Fallout 5 because they know they'll be system sellers. Actually, you know what?
That's actually it. Yeah.
I think, I honestly, they might be like, dude, we need one of these games as a launch title. Like, we need a working launch title this time around, you know? Halo Infinite didn't happen, right? What?
Right. I think that's the problem is Microsoft's actually like burning at the stake right now because like Halo Infinite was like a flop. Like the multiplayer is still, I think it like came back a little bit, but it's not like as big as it used to be. And like Xbox hasn't really released a game in like forever, right?
What are you talking about?
Right, exactly. Like, so like, and then they bought all these other studios. They're buying Activision. That's a big investment for them. And then not only for them to buy it, because I'm sure their intentions were we buy this, we make Call of Duty exclusive, but then literally the government was like, no, you can't do that. Stop. So like, I don't know, maybe they're just hemorrhaging money at this point. Like, yeah, they own Activision, they're gonna make Call of Duty bucks, but like it's not gonna be enough to like support them.
What you know what else is like shocking to me is that higher up in the article it said that id is still well and good, that they're not shutting down id, who develops Doom. However, as previously mentioned, most of the veterans from Doom have already left and have started up another company called Empty Vessel. So like even if we get another
That's a
Doom
banger
game,
name. That's a banger studio name.
Even if we get like another Doom or something, like maybe we won't because it isn't being shut down, but we'll get games similar to it, and it's got a bunch of banger developers and people who are in the business that have moved over to this new indie company. So like, why shut down Tango or Arcane Austin, where, you know, like Derek was saying, Tango specifically, most of their games have been nothing but bangers and new IPs and like great content, and shut down id because you just lost half of your key influential members for Doom. So like, what are you banking on with that one?
Right.
This is the world we live in now. So, and by the way, they just launched Hi-Fi Rush on PS5. Like, what was it, a month or two ago?
On PS5, it came out like last month.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if maybe it didn't do well on like the PS5.
I actually think people bought it though. Like the PlayStation guys all bought it, I'm sure, or tried it out or whatever.
We couldn't be happier with the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release. Oh, but by the way, later.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye now.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Honestly, in the wake of all this, I know it's... sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. I appreciate it.
But honestly, in the wake of this, and I know it's something we haven't talked about, but some of these consultation companies that work on like inclusivity and whatnot, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Just the way the market's looking nowadays, I can't wait for the video game crash to happen.
I think it's happening though. That's the
maybe it'll actually get normies out of my hobby again.
I think we're in it right now. Like maybe Sony and Microsoft are doing nothing.
Let you guys, screw off so I can enjoy my video games in peace.
Back to gaming.
Like, by the way, to answer your question real quick about Hi-Fi Rush and PS5, I just found an article about it and I put it into the channel just so you can review it if you need to. But apparently it is doing incredibly well already.
It's just like, this makes me sad. And also, I feel bad for these people. Like, it's one thing to get noticed, like, hey, your studio's going to close down. This was like overnight. Like, hey, you have no job anymore, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part of it, honestly. In the middle of all this, so it's literally, I know I've seen a couple of articles floating around today and people posting on Twitter. I know it's X. You're not going to tell me different. You really aren't safe anymore. Like, from any aspect of anything. It doesn't matter if your studio made a great breakout game like Hi-Fi Rush was. It doesn't matter if you make a good game, because some higher up corporate executive in a suit can say, sorry, you all no longer have jobs.
Which is ridiculous. That's insane.
I realize that this is also that we also have listeners that are only listening to the podcast, so just imagine me flipping a large middle finger.
It's just, like, that's super scary for anyone in any position, especially for like everyone around you to also lose their jobs. Yeah. And in this case, it's like, if you can't feel protected under a behemoth company like Microsoft, then where can you actually feel safe in this community or in this?
Microsoft, who is, I guess, valued at $3 trillion. If you cannot feel safe at a $3 trillion company,
right?
Where else can you feel safe at?
People are
but I
really...
feel like we all know that Microsoft. It feels like people are just victims of Microsoft being too big to fail, and then when things go south, people get ejected from the company, and it's like, how can you feel safe now?
People are starting to say that they want Phil Spencer to like remove himself. Like they're gotten to the point where like, Phil Spencer, you're like failing as a leader. We need a new leader in Xbox. I don't know if this comes from him, or I assume it's higher ups because he's just the Xbox division head, not the Microsoft division. And from what I'm reading, it's Microsoft closing the studios. And only so much he can say, hey, I'm not going to let you close the studio down. But
what Microsoft says goes.
Right. Overall, he just like He gives his he gives his like input and like his vast gaming knowledge. Like, this is how we're going to fix things. And I guess nothing's really turned around from Microsoft or Xbox. Like, Game Pass is probably the best thing they've done. And they also turned a great profit after buying Activision with these Call of Duty sales. And they even said, like, oh, we're like one of the biggest publishers now because of it. So, like, from a business standpoint, yes, they're probably
I had
like...
a feeling that some shifty nonsense... Sorry, I did it again.
No, please continue. It's a Rob show now.
I mean, they give me the biggest publisher they want.
No!
But, oh, he's gone.
No!
They give me the biggest publisher they want.
No, it's cool.
If there's no games coming out, like, I don't know. It's just like, it doesn't add up. Like, even like we haven't gotten a Call of Duty in 2 years? When did Modern Warfare 3 come out? No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before, wasn't it?
No, that was November. In fact,
2023 was it really?
Yeah. November 2022 was Modern Warfare 2. November 3 was 2023, which everyone figured out, and there's no official announcement about it. But it's really just a fork of 2. It was really just going to be a massive DLC drop, but they said, "Hey,
maybe that's what I was thinking."
Right?
Yeah.
This year apparently is going to be Black Ops 5 or something, or Cold War, or Gulf War, or something.
It's some sort. It's Black Ops insert title here.
Right, exactly. So,
but like even like I don't know. It's just like, could that much money really be coming in from these other guys? Bethesda really hasn't released a game since Starfield, and like I don't understand Game Pass's profit margin, right? Like, if I have Game Pass and I play Starfield, it doesn't count as a sale for Starfield, right? Like,
I don't know how
Starfield technically sold terribly, but everybody played Starfield, right?
I think how they count it is like because you need online to use Game Pass. I think there's some like counter, or not even counter, just something that tells Microsoft, hey, this person's playing Starfield on Game Pass, therefore they not counting as a sale but as a player. So like,
right, if so they have a player number but not a sales number for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
that's
so
how
like
you're right.
And then in that aspect, I would say Starfield technically sold terribly because of that. But I don't really know the sales number because I actually really think like when it first came out, I think Steam sales did well. But when it first came out, I remember we had issues finding the actual sales numbers of Starfield for Xbox because they just kept giving us like a player count number.
Right.
So like, but like, there's definitely got to be a difference between like a sale number and a player number, right? Like, like I could have Game Pass but never touch Starfield. Like that doesn't count towards it at all.
Yeah, but it's like you play it once. I think they clock that. Because that's how they
justify it that way.
Yeah, that's how they like stop. That's why some games will stop, putting on Game Pass, because the amount they pay like the developer versus how many people are actually playing on Game Pass, it doesn't equal like enough. Microsoft or Xbox must have a line. It's like, okay, there has to be this many players each month to justify us paying this much to the developer.
Right.
But because they own Bethesda, they don't have to worry about how much. Well, they obviously worry how many people are playing it, but they don't have to worry how much it's selling. Because there can't be a lot that's, well, at least on the Game Pass side, they can't be looking up, hey, like people, like no one's gonna buy Starfield on Game Pass like while they have it, right? Even if it is discounted.
But like I feel like they still have to like sell the game for some extent at least, because then they also still have to like. It doesn't make sense to me from a business standpoint, right? Like they're paying all these guys to make this product, and then they're like, free product for our Game Pass guys, and then like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense anymore.
It's stupid.
Derek, this is why you're not in the suit and they are. Okay, you're not smart enough. Not smart enough.
Like Phil took my wife.
Yeah, Derek actually has a deep vendetta against Microsoft because Phil actually,
I 1v1'd him on Gulch in Halo 2, and that's how it ended.
It was a money match, and that's how I became bankrupt. Phil, you bastard. Yeah, so like I'm losing more and more faith in Xbox, even though I do like Game Pass a lot. Realistically, though, if you have a monster PC, you could just get PC Game Pass. It is still nice to have Xbox Game Pass on the Series X. Like it's still a great value for what it is. It just hurts that they're like making all these problems and like they're losing trust heavily with people, with the player base. Anyway, so that's where I want to end that. All right, more terrible news, I guess. Square Enix announces it tanked 140 million in losses due to content abandonment, though there's no clue as to what's been dropped. Anyway, this comes by George, aka Edgy Two Swords, aka Only a Guy Better Beard Than I. I thought this was really interesting. They I just can't believe that they reckon. So this year they've recognized that approximately 22 billion or 140 million in content abandonment on its books for the fiscal year. So like, what does that mean exactly? Like they worked on DLC and dropped it, or they worked on games and dropped it? But like, that's a lot of money to lose on abandonment, I'd imagine, right?
It definitely is, yeah.
I don't want to know what they abandoned. I know. Don't they just make like Final? They did. What did they make? Final Fantasy. Did they make like a Dragon
Quest?
Dragon Quest. Rob, what are some other Square games? You know, I don't know. I just feel like you know.
Kingdom Hearts.
Or,
Am I allowed to talk this time?
You are, sir. You are.
Wow. Square Enix. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. I feel like Like a Dragon is like Sega now, though.
That's
yeah,
Sega,
I think, yeah.
Yeah, they're the publisher for that. As far as other stuff, God, what has Squeenix done lately?
Squeenix? I've never heard that, but I love it. Squeenix.
That's an old one.
Huh.
I honestly don't like. I don't feel like it's been like maybe some Dragon Quest, but like it feels like Final Fantasy has been pretty much their focus. I honestly do not remember what they've come out with.
Near, but they haven't done anything with that since they did the
Is that one and done?
what, Near?
Yeah.
It was, but it's another big one that they did. But a lot of it is like Final Fantasy, Octopath Traveler. Final Fantasy is the majority at this point. Dragon Quest, which just released another game. It's just so like content abandonment. So yeah, either they had DLCs planned or they started games and then completely scrapped them in terms of something else. It's a joke, I guess, in the article where they were talking about like Kiryu, which is the new CEO, will finally drop his bizarre fascination with AI and, dare I hope, NFTs. So like, I guess a lot of assets have been put in, like money and stuff have been put into games to make them look better and everything, and then they scrap that and then they go, because I feel like that's the type of development team that Square is, right? They'll start working on something and then if they don't like it, they completely scrap it and then start over. And I can imagine that that's what happened, is that they've probably invested so much money into upcoming games, like trying to make sure Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was like perfect for the like what they saw for it, and then they scrapped it a few times, and then they pushed it back, and then they did this and did that, and but there's no actual note of like where they like lost the money, like what did they develop into that is just gone. But 140 million is a lot.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's what makes me curious. I feel like that was either like a few different games that were like halfway through and they're like, yeah, JK, never mind. But I don't know. It just seems so weird. Also, I didn't know this guy had a fascination with AI and NFT. The NFT thing, like, dude, is a dead duck. Like, just don't, like, leave it in the past. NFTs are actually stupid. And if you invest in one, I dare say you're stupid. AI, I think that is just unfortunately the natural future. I think we're gonna see I think during this like video game downfall, we're gonna see AI taking over and like taking jobs over. Like, oh, we don't need why do we need a team when we can just have AI a remaster a high definition game? I 100% that's what
AI will get you 80% of the way there, and you still have to do the work.
Yeah, 80%. So like you could still, but that's much better than 100%. You know.
I mean, sure, it definitely helps out with coding projects and the like, especially since it's helped me build a Excel sheet. I don't really see a problem with it, I guess. It's kind of a bit of a hot take on my end, but I don't know. It's weird. It's like this new gray area, and I don't know how to feel about it, because on the one hand, yeah, it's getting more and more useful by the day, but on the other...
We talked about it a while ago. I don't know if you guys were there for it, but Ubisoft has an AI called literally Ghostwriter, and it's for writing conversations for their games, and it's just so stupid.
It's so terrible. Oh my god.
You know, I really love that burger. Like okay.
God, I hope I don't get assassinated in this Assassin's Creed game.
They said they were using it for like background conversation, nothing like for primary, like actual stuff you care about. But I don't trust it. I'm sorry, you were saying George?
Oh yeah, no, I was saying like it's actually probably a really good indicator of where they lost it. It's right on the screen now. And a continuation of their promise to review developmental processes from scratch. So they're scrapping all of these projects and stuff to begin again in hopes of like development of like better HD games and where the money in like I guess focus of new like content is going. So they essentially are like, yeah, let's make this game. Final Fantasy, let's go. Nah, scrap it. Start over. Do it again. It doesn't look good enough. Make it look better. Make it look better. Better.
No, do it. Yeah. I mean, I think out of all of us, I've never played Square Enix games. I've never played Final Fantasy. I've never played Dragon's Quest. Or what do you call it, Bob? Squeenix?
Yeah, Squeenix.
Squeenix. That's what you call it.
You never heard that?
I've never heard it. Not even once.
That's a term that's been around for years, man. Where have you been?
Yeah, we gotta shorten everything, so you can't say Square Enix. You gotta just merge it together.
Huh. Derek, how do you feel about this loss? Are you worried for your Final Fantasy games?
No. So they also make Kingdom Hearts as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, Square Enix is Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
So where all Square Enix money goes. And it is scrapped projects that never see the light of day. It's these terrible mobile games they release.
Yes.
Did you know Final Fantasy VII had a battle royale?
Yes.
It lasted only a year. Did you know they had a like 20 Dragon Quest mobile games that did nothing? There's been like random anime mobile games they make like that shut down all after like a year. I think they have like 1 or 2 mobile games that they like continuously update and that's it and that do well for them. But they like the Final Fantasy Battle Royale game was like the graphics of Final Fantasy VII Remake for your phone, which definitely wasn't cheap to make. Let alone like they're pumping out these mobile games literally like monthly. So I think that's where a big part of their money goes. They also like haven't really released stuff in a while. They did like the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 this year. But before that was like the first part like a couple of years ago. Like we don't get Dragon Quest very often unless it's like a spin-off game. They did like Dragon Quest Treasures or whatever it was. And then what was it, Rob? Dragon Quest Monsters came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts barely ever sees the light of day. So
why does it take so long to make those games? Is it because of Disney?
It's Disney, yeah.
It's probably licensing hell, honestly.
It Disney.
It did
Mickey takes his cut, whether you want him or not.
Another Square mobile game that Derek, I'm sure you'll probably play, but they have another Kingdom Hearts game that was originally supposed to come out in 2022 that I'm sure that they are still investing a ton of money in to make it look like you're playing it on a PS5 or at least a PS4, which is Kingdom Hearts Missing Link.
Right. They go above and beyond with these mobile games for no reason.
But why? It's just like I don't get it.
So like the mobile market here is like pretty crazy. The mobile market over there is insane.
Really?
Like if you have a crazy mobile game that takes off in the East, it's you're rich. You never have to do anything again.
I can see that. I know over there, like the Switch is intensely popular. Like
people still play the 3DS and do they were doing the Street Pass up until literally the last day.
I would love for that. Just walk like, a Street Pass.
Yeah.
Glory be. I think recently, maybe it wasn't recently. Someone like got like Miyamoto Street Pass or something, and they just like never use the 3DS ever again to make sure it wasn't.
And it's gotta, you know what? It's crazy because that 3DS has to be worth millions now,
Right.
because no one else could ever get it again now.
Right. I mean, I know, yeah, but so you know, I like how Derek cracked the code. It's just in their weird mobile games. And one last note: when is Kingdom Hearts 4?
2137.
Awesome, nice, super excited. Yeah, woo!
Friendship's my power.
All right, last but not least, we got some. We want to talk about Starfield Shattered Space. This is an article personally picked by Rob. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. I just want to. Yeah, thank you. That's why I don't want standing ovation. Recently, Starfield was gaining some traction. I don't know if the update came out, but did you guys see the video with like it like they're totally updating the maps, which is like my biggest concern with the game. They're adding like a space rover so you can actually drive around on the desolate planets. Have you guys seen this?
I have heard nothing about this
really?
since it came out, honestly.
Yeah, it just kind of slid under the radar for most people, but some of these features are stuff that should have literally been in there at launch.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, until Rob had posted the article, I didn't know that people were still talking about Starfield.
Usually talking about it to rag on it, but yeah, apparently we're supposed to be they finally did details on their expansion that they were working on.
Yeah, so
that
like
they said that they were working on, but they just never said anything about until now.
Dude, this needed to happen on release. For everyone who, if you're listening audio-wise, it's not going to be helpful. But in video, which you totally be watching us on Spotfiy, YouTube, and that's the only two for video, this is exactly what they needed. The map just sucked in Starfield. I couldn't stand it. I was so confused half the time. But this detailed map with an like a kind of bird's eye view, that would have helped things tremendously. I
don't remember. Did they have like POIs like that in Starfield? I didn't put too much time into it, to be honest.
It was like a blueprint, kind of.
So it doesn't tell you where like like an architectural blueprint of a city, essentially, kind of what you're.
I want to say it was like that, Rob. Am I wrong?
No, not architectural, topographical.
Topographical. Okay.
Okay.
But they didn't have POIs, right? Like, oh, this is a shop, and this is.
No, I don't feel like they did, and even then, it was kind of hard to read. I'd use it just to get a general idea of what direction I needed to go, but that was about it.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, I would like to go back to that
half
game.
The game is just loading menus anyway.
Rob was the only one here who beat the game, and kudos to you for that. It was just there's so much to it, and I'm sure it was fun when I played it. It was just so confusing navigation wise.
I did that, and I did like most of like the major quest lines that they did. Not a lot of the minor stuff, but most of the major quest lines. And I'm gonna be honest, it was definitely Fallout 4 style. Like I could feel the influences in it, and it was just, I don't know, something was missing.
Wacky
it didn't
quest,
have
maybe
that like Elder Scrolls or Fallout like flair to it.
Not even that. Just the game just didn't really feel like it. It felt like it was trying to do something, but it was being too clean about it. If that makes sense. Like there was there was all form, no substance. If that makes sense.
God, I hate these kind of update videos where it's like a pseudo interview. It just pisses me off. It's so stupid. What can you tell me about the update? Dude, you're reading, like, we all know it's a script, so just tell it to my face. You don't have to pretend like there's some
just
mystery.
Read me the patch notes. Just that's all I want.
Really, like, seriously, though, like, if those two were just standing at the camera and just saying, hey, this is what's happening in the May update. New maps, new this, not this, like, what can you tell me about the new updates? I'm so excited to talk to you about this, Heather.
Thanks for asking, Heather.
I know, it's just so annoying, and it's just fake. I like this. You can customize your ship now and like add like some personal flair.
Could you not do that before?
You can add a bang couch, which is pretty cool.
The CUCK chair, nice.
Dude, yes, the CUCK chair. Oh my god, I love it. Oh, dude, I'll never get over that Bluey meme. That lives in my head rent free.
I have patch notes for us.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good, perfect.
Read it off, Rob.
So, in order, improved surface maps. We've heard your feedback, and we made some big improvements to surface maps, so you'll always know just where to go and no longer get lost on the way to your parents' place. And they weren't buying that excuse anyway. You really should go visit them. New gameplay options.
Patch notes.
For those of you who like a bit of because this game's a joke in the first place. Come on, keep up.
Right.
For those of you who like a bit of extra challenge or want to make some aspects of the game easier, you can customize your experience with brand new options in the settings menu. Want to make ground combat harder but ship combat easier? You can do that.
I like that.
And I found both of them easy. It's a Bethesda game.
I love the space combat. I had so much fun with that.
It reminded me of it somehow more brain dead easier than No Man's Sky, which is already pretty easy to understand in the first place. And probably looks like dog water compared to something out of Elite Dangerous. But I suppose that's a story for another time. Added ship decoration mode to the interior of ships. So you can now decorate ships just like you can with player-owned homes. So that's what they mean when they say you can decorate your ship now. Now it acts like one big workshop for them.
So
Gotcha.
you couldn't do that? Like, wasn't there some sort of like customization to it?
You could not do that in ships before. You can customize how the ship looks on the outside, but the interior was not something you could control.
That's insane. I don't remember that at all.
Well, you barely remember. Nobody really remembers the game in the first place because it was a stale, boring experience.
Yeah.
The only thing that jumps out to me that I remember of playing that game was the pirate. It was like the Raider quest line, where you could either be one of the UGC peacekeepers or whatever, or you could be one of their Crimson Raiders or what have you. Or I forget. Actually, I don't remember what they were called either. I only remember the peacekeepers because as soon as you did a crime and absolved yourself of it, somebody came over to your ship and like, "Ooh, you're in trouble now. The big man at Peacekeepers wants to see you."
I just remember I was over encumbered the whole time.
That's what it was. Sysdef, that's what it was. And you get pulled into like an interrogation chip. That's why I remember what Sysdef was. But the only reason I remember that is because you go to a ship that's basically in an irradiated portion of the galaxy, and you have to basically do a heist and pull banking information out of a banking ship that's left adrift in there, and you have to escape it as it blows apart around you.
Huh.
Right.
That was actually really cool. I enjoyed that storyline, at least.
It is nice the carry capacity is greatly increased if you wanted to.
Well, I have a funny way to get around that. That's called console commands and mods. Which, speaking of mods, I'd really like them to release a creation kit for this sometime soon so we can really see what modders are actually capable of. But anyway, there's still more patch notes. Sorry for going off on a tangent.
When did this game come out? Sorry to cut off the patch notes. What,
last year, I think?
November, was it?
Yeah, I think it was around because I remember starting my job around August, and I think a few months into that, Starfield came out.
September.
September it came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
September 6th.
So it's been close to, 10 months it's been? 9 months?
Like
8-9 months, probably.
Yeah.
Damn. Added tabs to container menus to make managing your inventory easier. Okay, I actually use an external mod for that, so just like there was Sky UI, there's Starfield UI. I'm not worried about that one. I'm not tripping about that. I already had that on lock. Added the ability to change traits and appearance after entering the Unity. So that little thing that had you pick what you were, like a settler or you had family on New Atlantis or whatever. If you do the Unity, which I mean, I know it's almost a year old at this point, but spoilers if you haven't reached the end of it. Spoilers begin here, by the way. Entering the Unity is basically you finishing out the main quest line, and you get kicked into another universe. You become Starborn. It's this whole wild and wacky thing, and then you basically start the game over then, and that's their version of New Game Plus. Spoilers are over, by the way. Added dialogue camera toggle in the settings, whatever that means, and added display settings for Xbox Series X
I'll be right back.
prioritize
I go to the
visuals
bathroom.
or performance, which is really good for Xbox Series X because now you can target 30, 40, 60, or an uncapped frame rate on certain displays.
Well, that's good.
So you can now also prioritize between visuals and performance while trying to maintain the frame rate target. So you can kind of fine-tune that to fit your TV. And of course, general stability and performance improvements. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not about to sit here and read off this massive patch note here, but
Of all the nonsense. Yeah, just hit the big bullet points, I guess.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
long
I
to
hit
read.
anymore.
I hit the bullet points, and they just had a bunch of bug fixes and improvements.
So, I mean, so it sounds like it basically got its next gen upgrade, right? Or is that just PC that got like the upgraded visuals?
As of the first of this, so about a week ago, the update was currently in Steam beta before going live for all players.
Okay, so that's Steam. So did it come out on Xbox as well, or
I would imagine so.
that's what I
Excuse
would
me.
assume as well. But I mean, 10 months and we finally get this like big update for it. Which, granted, I understand it's hard for Bethesda with their games because like
Especially in the
they're
middle
just-
of departments that are like under them getting slashed left and right.
right, they're like literally getting attacked while they're working on this.
It really was a
But-
hostile takeover.
Yeah. And then like I get their games are like gigantic and it takes a while to like do these updates, but like these are like things that should have been added like definitely quicker or like sooner to release. I feel like I don't know, like we were saying before, like the player base is definitely down for this game, right? Like let me pull up what is it? Starfield Steam player count. Let's see. What are you at, Starfield? Starfield's at like 6,000 players ish in the last 24 hours. And its all-time peak was 300,000, and that's just for Steam, not including Xbox. So like there was, I don't know, it's a missed opportunity, I feel like, for them to have released this so late in the game. Granted, again, I understand these games are giant and it takes them forever to update them to begin with, but I do feel that's no excuse.
So, real quick, it looks like this patch and these updates and stuff aren't even out until May 15th.
Right. This is just a.
Yeah.
And this is only Steam, Derek, we were talking about.
What?
It's only Steam right now. This is in the Steam beta testing.
Oh, but
So
yeah,
it's not-
but it releases on the 15th, right?
For Steam. We don't know about Xbox.
I have
Does it say at the end of that trailer, like, what it's releasing for?
And it says available. It says
That's
Starfield.
just a game.
I'm on the Bethesda website on Starfield's page. The article was posted May 1st, and it says it's coming May 15th.
I have to assume
Well, I'm
it's
going
for
to assume
Oh,
both
so this
then,
is in
right?
the
Yeah, yeah.
works.
No, I think it's for everything. It's just currently in the Steam beta program.
Right.
I also want to mention, I think we'll see a lot more player base whenever they bring Creation Club to the game. I think
That too. That's like a big thing with Bethesda games.
So I'd prefer mod support over Creation Club, but
Oh,
I also
I'm sorry,
know
that's
they're
what I
going to monetize that stuff.
right.
But
So sorry. Nothing like a good old stomach attack in the middle of a podcast. I'll tell you what.
well, if you guys are wanting to scratch the itch,
What itch?
No Man's Sky had a large update, or has a large update in store.
They always
so-
have every month. I see like the new space
They're
update,
insane.
the I made love to your mom update. The like
I don't know how they do it. They are like on top of that game literally daily. And just like, what can we do now? Like, let's change the color red. Oh my god, yes.
What if we added a dating simulator by space? Oh, gee.
Yes, genius.
Oh,
It's
it's a large patch, but it's bug fixes primarily.
yeah. Well, either way, like this is long overdue.
You could go play the better game instead of Starfield.
Right, Oblivion.
Yeah. Jumping those Elder gates.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That's really it for the episode, right, guys? We on the old Dusty Trail.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Got it all.
Nice. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. I always appreciate the support. Special shout out to 2x4 who donated in the middle of the live stream to ask a question about fornicating with Pokemon. But $5 and $5 in these trying
More
times.
on that later. Keep an eye out.
Guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Become a member today. It's only $2.99. It really helps us out, believe it or not. Join our Discord. We're lively people on there. We also have a Twitter that we Twitter, whatever. That we never really talk about for some reason. Rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to us, if you can. Spotify, Apple. I guess if it's less than 5 stars, you can still rate us. We prefer 5 stars. Other than that, we're gonna hit the old Dusty Trail. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.